Hi there, welcome to this GEG Global event. We'll be getting started shortly. In the meantime, head over to the chat section and connect with other educators by introducing yourself. Share where you're from, what you do in education, and even your Twitter handle. And if you have any questions right away, go ahead and ask them there. And don't forget to click the subscribe button so you receive updates on any GEG Global events. Stay tuned, we'll get started shortly.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Level Up with Screencastify. We are so grateful that you could join us, and we've got a really great session lined up for you today with Patty Whittington. So before we get started, just make sure you go into the chat, go say hi, tell us where you're from, put your Twitter handle in there. And I just want to say on behalf of the Global GEG, welcome, and I'm going to turn it over to Patty.
Right. Thank you, Rachel. Hi, everybody. I am Patty Whittington. I have been a teacher for the last 13 years, and I teach in South Louisiana. I'm also a Google certified trader. So today we are talking about Screencastify. We know it is a tool, excuse me, that can be used to record video lessons, but today I want to level it up and use it with Google tools. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Or type in the chat that yes, you can see my screen so I can make sure. I think we should be good. Okay, so before we get started, excuse me, before we get started, I want to kind of go through some housekeeping and how we can actually get started with Screencastify. So in order to download the app, we can go to the Screencastify website, and then you'll see where you can add it to Chrome. Now remember, it has to be in a Chrome browser. Or you can visit the Chrome Web Store extension, click Add to Chrome after you've searched Screencastify, and it'll download. And once it downloads, it'll download up here to this bar, and you can click it to instantly add your videos to it. Okay, subscriptions. They do have some subscriptions. They have the free one where it's kind of it's basic editing, and it's only a 5-minute limit. So if you want to use Screencastify for something longer than 5 minutes, you might want to look into the paid plan. So their paid plan is unlimited, and it's $49 a year. But for educators, you can get it for $29 a year. It is compatible with any device that can run a Chrome browser. The only devices that it's not compatible on is going to be any of your Android devices or iPhones, iPads, Apple Watches. You can't use it on there. All right, so when we click on the Screencastify extension, you're going to get this box that's going to pop up. So I want to quickly go over the different tools that are included into it. You have your browser tab. This right here, when you select it, is going to record only the tab. Now, guys, I know I'm going pretty quick through this, but as I get into sharing how to use it with Google Tools, you're going to see each one and how we can implement it in there. Okay, desktop is going to record everything that's on your screen. Webcam only is going to record just your face. It's not going to record anything on your desktop. Now, if you want to record your voice and not your face, you can just turn off this button right here that says Embed Webcam. You can increase the countdown time by selecting the drop-down arrow. They have drawing tools that you can use when you're recording on your browser tab or your desktop. And enabling the system audio is going to record sound from your computer. So if you're doing some kind of video or lesson and it requires showing an outside video on your computer, make sure this is enabled. That way the sound will come through while you're recording. And when everything's set to your liking, all you gotta do is click record and you're good to go. Okay, one more housekeeping tip I wanna go over before we get started. Like with any Google Docs or sheets or anything, we have to change permissions in order for other people to access it. With Screencastify, after you make your first video recording, they will automatically create a folder in your drive for you. So when you go to your Google Drive, you'll see there's a Screencastify folder. What we can do is when we right-click on it and do the share button, we can change the permissions. That way, any Screencastify video you make that goes into that drive is going to be shareable automatically, whatever setting that you put on there. So the first time you go to do it, it's going to have restricted, where only people that you add to it as a collaborator is going to be able to open up your videos. So we'll change it to anyone with the link. And I'm going to leave it anyone can view, because you can do view or edit. And once you've changed it on the folder, anything inside this folder is going to be shareable. So you're ready to go. Okay, so we're going to talk about 4 different ways we can use Google Tools with Screencastify. We're going to learn how to collaborate with it, clarifying directions for our students, giving feedback for our students, and assessments. Okay, so the first one I'm going to do is collaboration. So I like to use Google Keep. Google Keep is one of many different tools we can use to collaborate with. So in order to get to Google Keep, we can either go to keep.google.com, or if you have a Slides open, Gmail, Google Docs, Drive, Calendar, Sheets, you have Google Keep on the right side that you can just click it here and it'll open for you. You can also get Google Keep as an app on Android or your iOS. So let's go ahead. I'm going to open a new Google Keep. Okay, so I am preparing for a lesson. It's a vocabulary lesson on food webs. So I'm going to title it Food Webs Vocabulary. And I want to kind of jot down some notes on how we're going to present this vocabulary. So I'm going to say, well, do I want to introduce the vocabulary words before the lesson? Do I want to do it during the lesson, maybe? Kind of as the terms come up. Or do I want to have student-created definitions? Using different context clues. Okay, so I want to collaborate with a co-teacher that's teaching this lesson with me. So I'm going to click right here to add a collaborator. I'm going to enter the person's name that I want to share it with and save. So now they have access to this. Well, I want to kind of put this in checkboxes because I like the list form, but I want them separated so we can kind of add, delete what we want to. So when I click on the 3 circles, the more option, I can show checkboxes. That way, when my collaborator is onto this note, she could say, I don't really want to do the before the lesson idea, so we'll take this off. She can add her own, and back and forth we can collaborate. Another good, another great feature that I like with Google Keep is on the app, you can take pictures within Google Keep. So let's say you're at school and you're researching some different ideas on some vocabulary words, and you come across a website that has got some really good vocabulary words you never thought of before, and they're getting ready to close the school. It's time to go. You don't have time to write it down. So all you got to do is just take out your phone, open up your Google Keep app, snap that picture, and it inserts it right into your Google Keep. And it will look like this. So we can take this note and change it into text. So all we have to do is click on the more option again, and I'm going to grab image text. And then we're going to notice at the bottom, it types out everything that you have. Everything that was on the screen is typed out. So how can I take this, put it into a Google Doc, add a collaborator, and share my thoughts. Very easy. So I'm going to click on the More option, copy to Google Docs, and it's going to create a Google Docs with the image and the words that are underneath it. So I'm going to open the doc. And there's my image. And there are my words underneath it. So let's collaborate with some of these words. I'm going to open my Screencastify because I want to record my thoughts instead of just typing them out as a comment. Okay, I do want her to be able to see what I'm talking about, so I'm going to leave it desktop. You can do desktop or browser tab, it doesn't matter. My countdown, leave it 3 seconds, drawing tools, system audio, that's good. So I'm ready to record. It's going to do the countdown, and then you can start. Hey, so I found yesterday at the end of the day, I found this website that's got some vocabulary words on it. So I'm kind of wondering maybe on day 1, we can just maybe discuss what does chain mean, what does consumer mean, and maybe we'll go ahead and go into carnivores. Let me know what you think, if 3 is good enough or maybe we need to add some more to it. So once you're done recording, we can click up here to stop the recording. And then it's going to open up another tab where you can get your shareable link. You can open an editor if you want to make some changes to it. So once it's uploaded to your Google Drive, remember, everything goes to your Google Drive. I love that feature. So here's the shareable link. If you want to just click it, it copies it. Or they have other share options. You can generate a QR code that'll bring it to this link. You can automatically share it to your Google Classroom. You can publish it to YouTube, get an embed code, or you could just send it in an email. For this purpose, I'm just going to copy the shareable link. So I'm going to go back to my document that was created, and I'm going to insert a comment. Now, there's 2 ways you can insert a comment. One, you can click on the word that you want to emphasize. So say I did carnivore. This little circle with the plus sign shows up. So I can click on that, and I'm just going to paste it in there. And maybe I'll put in the top, here are my thoughts. Okay, so to make comments in Google Docs and Google Slides, to add a collaborator, we're going to do a plus sign and then start typing up the person's name. And it'll pop up, and you can add your collaborator this way. So they'll get your note in your video. Then we're going to comment, and it's there. So she can open it up, click on it, and the video will come up. You can also click on Insert Comment if you want to insert it that way too. Okay, now let me see if real quick, do we have any questions? Because I know I can't see anything that's popping up right now. Are there any questions that I need to answer? Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so moving on. So we got one more that I want to do with Google Keep and put in Screencastify. So we're still looking for vocabulary lessons for food chains. So if I find a website that I like their lesson and something really jumps out and catches my eye, I can share this to my collaborator and I can insert my thoughts using Screencastify. So same thing, we're going to do the same steps. We're going to click on the record button. I'm going to leave all of these open, all of these checked, and then I'm going to click record. And of course, now my internet wants to lock up on me. Guys, I apologize for this. I think I'm just overworking it right now. Okay, I think we're ready to go. All right, so we're going to click on Screencastify again.
Sorry,
Wait, go
Patty,
ahead.
just while you're figuring things out there, we have a couple questions who are asking if you know if Screencastify is New York Ed Law 2D compliant. So the law that
I'm not familiar with that. Does anybody else know? What does the law state?
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but if someone else knows, pop it into the chat for us.
Yeah, definitely. Please do.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to know that too.
All right, I'm going to get off now.
All right, thanks, Rachel. All right, so let's go back to the lesson that we were looking at. Okay, so here's the website that I wanted to share. So I'm going to click on Screencastify extension, record. Okay, so I found this lesson on betterlesson.com. Let me know what you think. They've got where their vocabulary activity has groupings. Okay, now this is not the website that I originally pulled up. Okay, here we go. There it is. All right, so the vocabulary activity has got groupings, and I'm kind of liking this, where they put them in groups, and they each have an assigned job to do with the activity. Also, I noticed if you look towards the bottom here, they have where the students can make their own homemade glossaries in their folders. What do you think about doing something like that? So now I'm going to stop my recording. Okay, once it uploads to my Google Drive, I'm going to copy the link. Okay, I'm going to go back to my Google Keep, and I'm going to add a new note. I'm going to paste my thoughts. I'm not going to spend time to change my spelling, guys. Y'all know what I mean. Okay, and then I also want to include the website. So I'm going to go back to the website that I was just at, and I'm going to copy and paste it into that same doc. Title it Food Chain, add my collaborator. All right, I'm good to go. So now my collaborator can see the website I was talking about and also listen to my thoughts. All right, so that is how you can use Screencastify and Google Keep to brainstorm some different ideas and collaborate with somebody else on your team. So now let's get into how we can use Screencastify and really clarify those directions when we're assigning lessons for our students. So the first one I'm going to look at is clarifying instructions. So let's say I have this assignment posted to my Google Classroom, but I'm not there to remind them, hey, 1, 2, and 3, let's do this. 4, 5, and 6, let's do this. So I'm going to create a video. That way I can remind them, do this, and do this before you complete it. So again, I've got my slide presentation open that I attached to my Google Classroom. I'm going to click on the Screencastify extension. Don't we just love technology? It wants to sit there and think, am I going to let her do this or not? Okay, looks like it's letting me do it now. All right, so this time I am going to leave the desktop option open because I do want them to see what's in the background while I'm talking it out with them. So I'm going to record. Hey guys, so for today's assignment, remember numbers 1, 2, and 3, you need to simplify. So we need to find that greatest common factor. For numbers 4, 5, and 6, we're changing to a mixed number. So think to yourself, how many halves are in 9? How many 6 are in 17? How many 7s are in 44? Then for number 7, remember to rewrite it vertically and line up your place values. And number 8, this number here, tell me how many hundreds were in this number. Rename it, then go ahead and multiply it. And I'm going to stop the video. Okay, so this time you can copy the shareable link if you want to, but remember, this automatically goes to your Google Drive. So I can go back to my presentation. I'll wait for it to upload before I do this. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my presentation and I'm going to this time insert video. So you can insert videos by searching it through YouTube, by pasting a URL, or you can grab it straight from your Google Drive. So the most recent ones are going to be at the top. So this is it right here. So I'm just going to click it, select, and there it is. You can resize it, and we can move it around. Now, as long as the slide is not in present mode, your students can see the white parts on the outside. So I can put it right here, and they'll be able to see it. And I'm going to add a text box just to let them know what to do with this video. So I'm going to write, watch the video. Before starting. And you're good to go. So that'll be on there for them to watch before they take this assignment. Okay, we can also input encouraging videos into our Google Classroom assignments. So I'm going to go to my Google Classroom and I'm going to create assignment like I normally do. Create assignment. Now for this assignment, it's going to be a really big math project called Math in the Kitchen. And I'm kind of worried that they're going to be kind of panicky about it. It's a really big project. It's something they have to do at home. And they need that encouragement that you can do this. You know what you're doing. You got this. So absolutely, we're going to type out instructions here. But what better way to clarify these instructions that we type out without writing a whole paragraph than recording ourselves? So I'm going to click on the Screencastify extension again. This time I'm going to use just my webcam. I don't want them seeing anything in the background. I want them just seeing me and focusing on what I'm telling them. So I'm doing webcam only. Okay. All right, so for our end of the unit project, it's going to be a project where you are looking for math inside of the kitchen. Guys, this is not going to be hard. You've got this. Look for it when you pour out a bowl of cereal in the morning. Take a measuring cup. See how much you actually poured in there. Take out a can of green beans. See how many grams are in that can of green beans and then convert it to kilograms. You got this. Use your knowledge from this previous unit. Okay, then I'm going to stop. Okay, so I'm going to let it upload. Now, while this is uploading, I'm going to copy the link and insert it in there. But remember, you can share this to Google Classroom. So once it's finished uploading into your Google Drive, if you click on this button here, Share to Classroom, another little box is going to pop up like this, where you can create your assignment. You can choose your class you want to put it into, and then click Go and create the assignment with the video right there. But for this one, I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to go back to my Google Classroom, and I'm going to add. So you can either insert the link, or you can, again, go to your Google Drive and just select it and put it in that way. All right, so the video is uploading. You have your title, your instructions, and then you also have a video instructions to kind of make it a little more personal, give them some extra tips on what they need to do, and then click assign, and it's all on there. All right, before I go into this last one with giving directions, I want to kind of look to see if anybody has any questions that I need to answer. All right, looks like everybody's good so far. I know I talk kind of fast, so I just want to make sure I don't need to clarify something for somebody. All right, moving on. So the last one for giving directions using Screencastify, let's say you have an assignment in a website that's interactive, and you want to clarify exactly what they need to do and how to solve it. So we're going to go to the website. I just decided to do a Quizlet. And this is the link that you had copied and pasted into your assignment in your Google. So we're going to record, tell them step by step how to complete this lesson. So I'm going to click again on my Screencastify tab. Okay, I don't want just webcam because I want them seeing what I'm doing in the background. So I'm going to change it to desktop or browser link. Remember, either one's desktop's going to record everything here. And if you do just browser tab, it's going to record just this browser, just this tab that we're on right here. So I'm going to record. All right, so today's quiz, this is what you need to do. First, you're going to click on that link that I provided to you in Google Classroom. Then once you get here, I want you to click underneath play where it says match. I'm trying to get it to pull up. All right, so when you click match, it's going to come up. It's going to have different boxes that say the vocabulary word and the definition. Your job is to match those definitions and vocabulary words. And so then you can model, decompose. If you put it here, if it's wrong, it pops out. If it's correct, it's going to go away. Finish this up until this whole screen is cleared off. All right, then I'm going to stop the recording. Okay, so again, we can copy the link. We can share it to Classroom straight from here. You can generate a QR code if you want to, and maybe put it in a Google Doc. Send in an email. So there are multiple ways that you can share out these videos. All right, so giving directions. You can use Screencastify with Google Slides to kind of clarify and give them a little bit more guidance with it. You can use it with Google Classroom to create encouraging videos, getting the students pumped up, ready for whatever project you have them getting ready to do. Or you can model something that you're expecting them to work on maybe outside of classroom. All right, let's talk about feedback and how we can use Screencastify to give feedback. Now we know that with slides, Google Slides and Google Docs, we can add comments into those. But let's make it a little more personal and add a video kind of guiding our students into what they can do to improve on their writing. So I had posted an assignment on choosing an underdeveloped character in the Harry Potter series. So this is one of my student submissions. Now, of course, we've got some grammatical errors. We've got, we could elaborate a little bit more on this text. So normally what we could do is we could just highlight what we need them to work on, add a comment, telling them capitalize first letters of the word. We can tell them don't use the word because that's informal language. Okay, now what if I want to give an overall summary of what I think about this? I can use Screencastify. So I'm going to click on the Screencastify extension. Now I wanted them to see, their work behind me so they could see exactly what I'm talking about. Click record. Hey, so I really like the beginning that you have started off with your essay. I also think that Neville Longbottom should have played a much bigger role in Harry Potter. So I did put a couple little comments here, go back and make these changes, and also kind of elaborate some more for me. Tell me why you think he should have played a bigger part. And then we're going to stop the video. All right, as soon as it uploads, I'm going to copy my link again. I'm going to go back here. Now remember, we can add comments with that little one that pops up here, or if you want to, you can do insert comment. And I'm just going to tell them to watch the video for my suggestions, and I'm just going to paste it right there. So now all they have to do is click here and they can see my overall take on what they've written so far. And remember, when they click on it, we've already changed the permissions in our folder. So we don't have to worry about going to each individual video. All right, so that's Google Docs and Google Slides providing feedback using any of those two Google tools. I'm kind of doing really good on time, so let me take a break here and see if anybody had any questions that I needed to answer. Just look through the comments here. I think we're doing pretty good. Philomena, you want to jump on for a second? Let me know how we're doing.
Patty, you're doing pretty good. You've got about half an hour still.
Yeah, that's what I said. We're pretty close. So is there any questions that I need to answer?
One question that's been kind of going on a little bit in the chat is comparison to Loom. And would you say that Screencastify is better because it links to G Suite, or is Loom better? What are your thoughts?
So I use both of them. I like to use Screencastify because it does automatically import everything into your Google Drive. Loom, I like it because it's got that cute little circle that puts your face into it. So it looks a lot, it's cuter to me. But they're both great. Both of them will work the same way. All right. Anything else? Just check and make sure we're good. All right, so let's move on to the last part, assessments, how we can use Screencastify within our assessments. So I have two that I'm going to go over. One is doing a Google form check-in with the students, and the other is going to be a Google form actually creating a quiz and giving them feedback after they submit their quizzes. So I'm going to go to the check-in first. Okay, so let's say it's the end of the week, end of the unit. You want them to check in to see, okay, how are you feeling about this material? And what concepts are you most confident with? Now, most kids, if they put one right here, we know this question, they're going to put nothing. I don't feel confident with anything. But as teachers, we know that there's something that they understood, even if they don't think they did. So I want to put a video in between these two right here, between the first question and second question, to kind of explain to them, this is what I'm looking for when you go to answer this question. So again, I'm going to go to Screencastify. And I'm going to only record my webcam this time. All right, so time for our lesson check-in. On your second question, it's asking you, what do you feel most confident with? Even if you think, guys, that you are totally not understanding the lesson, there's got to be one thing that you caught, one thing that you know. So go ahead and put that in there for me. So then I'm going to stop. All right, I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to go back to my Google form, and we've got, when we go to add different components on the Google form, you have these buttons on the right-hand side where we can add a question, import questions, add a title and a description, add an image. Right here, we can add a video. So I'm going to click Add Video, and I'm going to do it as a URL. Okay, so this part here, sorry about that, guys. This one here wants you to upload it through YouTube. So what we can do is, if we want to upload it through here, watch how simple this is. Let's see how to upload it to YouTube. So we're going to click Publish to YouTube instead of copying the link. Okay, it's going to ask you, if you're not logged into your YouTube account, it's going to ask you to log into it. Right now, it's set at private, that only you can view the video. So we want to change this so our students can see the video. So you have also public, anyone can find and view the video, or unlisted. People who have the link on the video can view it. Choose the unlisted. That means if they go on YouTube, they can't find it. The only way they can find this video, they can't search it. The only way they can find the video is if they have the link. So I'm going to leave it on unlisted. And then I'm going to upload it. And then once it's finished uploading to YouTube, it's going to have a pop-up box that's going to come up telling you you've been successful. Copy the link. So I'm going to copy the YouTube link, go back to my form, and I'm going to upload it this way and paste it there. Okay. So it automatically put it right here. Now, for some reason, if you might have created your question beforehand up here and it's up at the top and you don't want it here, you want it after your first question before your second one, you can always click and drag it to a different spot. So now the students will take this first question. They'll have to watch this video. So I'll tell them, watch the video. And then it'll go on to the second question. All right, so that's using a check-in form. Drop some different ideas that you have, guys, using Google Forms besides a check-in. So in the chat, if you have something else that pops in your head, like, ooh, I can really use it for this, I'd love to hear it. I love hearing more ideas on how you can use this. So the last one we're going to look at is giving assessment feedback. So we've created a quiz that we want to give our students, and we've posted it to Google Classroom. Now remember, until you do one thing with a Google form, it's just set up as a survey. So right now, this question, how many pigs from the store to 3 little pigs, it's just a survey. You're collecting data. To turn it into a quiz, I want to go to my settings, and I'm going to click right here where it says quizzes, and I'm going to enable make this a quiz. Okay. I do want the grade released immediately after each submission. I don't want them to see the correct answers because I am going to give them multiple times to go back and try to get this one correct. So I don't want them to see the correct answers. So I'm going to save those settings. Before we go on, let's go back to settings real quick. So look, there's general, where you can collect email addresses. You can limit it to 1 response if you don't want them to have multiple chances at it. You can select where they can edit after submit, see a summary. You can show the progress bar. So while they're taking the quiz, they can see how far along they are. Or you can shuffle the question order. So in settings, there's some more options you can play around with. All right, so I've got it set as a quiz. So now, since it's a quiz, I have this little thing at the bottom that says answer key. So I'm going to click on answer key, and I'm going to choose the correct answer. How many pigs from the store to 3 little pigs? 3. So this is the correct answer. Now I'm going to add answer feedback. So once the student submits this, if they get it incorrect, you can put a statement that you want them to see. So I'm going to tell them, try again. You can also, if they get it correct, you can put another feedback. Great job. Now, I want to take this one step further, and I'm going to, since I'm giving them multiple chances to get the correct answer, I'm going to give them a little hint. So I'm going to record my hint and then upload it to here. So I'm going to open Screencastify. Okay, I'm just going to do my webcam because I don't want them seeing the background. I don't want them seeing the correct answer. And I'm going to record. All right, so try that question again. Think about this. How many pigs are in the story, The 3 Little Pigs? Try it again. So I'm going to stop the video. All right, I'm going to copy the link, go back, and I'm going to insert it, and then save it. So now the video is there when they get it wrong. So let's try this and see. All right, so how many pigs? Let's just put the incorrect answer, submit it, view score. All right, maybe I need, it didn't put it in there. Hold on, we're gonna fix this. I didn't click add. That was my fault. So don't forget on the side right here, put click add. That way it puts it on there. All right, so let's try this again. All right, so view score. All right, and there we go. So it tells them try again, and they'll click this right here so you can open up the video to watch it. So after they've watched the video, got that little hint, they can go back and submit another response. 3 little pigs, okay. View score. And there's our feedback. You got it correct. Great job on getting it correct. All right, so those are the 2 ways that I wanted to show you using a check-in form and any kind of assessment. You can add feedback to give them a little more guidance, a little more chances to answer it. Let me just check the chat here and see if anybody has any other questions before I move on again. Okay. All right. So I did include, you will get the slide presentation. So I did include those 3 steps on putting answer feedback into a Google form. Also, while you're on the Screencastify website, check out their courses. It's pretty cool. I learned a lot of things through this. So they offer the Master the Screencast course you can take. Then they got a little higher level one. You can do a Genius one. And then for the kids, I'm really liking this one. They have the Master the Screencast Junior. So if you want your kids to record different videos, you can have them watch this little course. I think it's only like 15, 20 minutes long, and it shows them the ins and outs. All right, and so that is all I had for this presentation. I went a lot faster than I thought I would, which I hope I didn't lose any of y'all. So I do really appreciate you watching and participating with me with this session. You know, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Tech2Go. Follow Global Gag at Global Gag, sorry. And also, since I'm part of GEG South Louisiana, you can also join theirs, and they have local events too as well. So is there any burning questions? Since I finished, let me stop sharing my screen here for a second. All right. All right. So are there any burning questions that we had? Rachel, Philomena, did y'all see any that I missed?
I don't think there's any you missed. We just had if we could share out the link, which we did for you.
Okay.
There was another question a bit earlier on when you were showing us how to embed the videos in Google Forms. Someone's not allowed to use YouTube. So,
okay. So one thing you can do, I know my district had blocked YouTube. Maybe you can do it on your personal account. Create a YouTube personal account. If you can't use YouTube, I'd have to look into that, even with their personal account. But yeah, that's what I had to do. That was my get around when the district blocked me.
Yeah, my suggestion was just to maybe take the shareable link and throwing that in the description. I mean, it doesn't then put up the nice video embedded within a Google form, but it's a little bit of a workaround.
Yes, absolutely. I like that idea.
Mm-hmm. Someone else is asking about Edpuzzle.
Okay. Using Edpuzzle is a great workaround is what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great idea. Thank you for sharing that, Robin.
Yeah, and Screencastify now has the ability that you can go and upload it directly to Edpuzzle as well. It's completely integrated, so.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I didn't even see that one. I'm going to have to look. Yeah, and I don't know when they made changes, but they must have made changes recently. I'm not sure how recent, but Amber had to show me last night that the QR code generator. I was like, oh, that is so awesome. Teams with personal account, they won't whitelist YouTube. So I'm wondering, is that on them playing it?
I think that's what she means, is that they can't play anything from YouTube.
Okay. So then maybe I'm trying to think. I'm thinking, like you had said, instead of uploading it as an attachment, maybe just take that link that you copy after the recording's done and then inserting that into the description, or even making that as a question, saying, watch this video before you move on, and then inserting that link just to go to your Screencastify video would be a great way.
Yeah, sounds like the best workaround.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Patty. It was great. I think everybody really enjoyed how you went through everything like so nicely and simply, and just really explained the basics for us. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. I enjoyed it. And guys, if I went too fast with something, hit me up on Twitter and ask away.